support.
But you can go pay his son and read that contract.
But here's the deal, though. We talk now. I'm gonna play a little devil's advocate, right? So if we want to bring him on stage,
Yeah,
Coach,
go ahead.
while we talking about, I'm gonna play devil's advocate really quick, right? So everybody is against these independent agents, right? When it comes to this, but if you walk in as a parent. If you walk in as a parent and you're talking to that head coach and you're sitting in his office and he tells you that, hey, well, we can only get little Johnny $12,000 to transfer here to our university, right? And you're like, $12,000? Yeah, we'll give him $1,000 a month and that's pretty much it, right? And we saying, and if you're not very knowledgeable or well versed in how the NIL shit works, right, you're going to be like, okay, should I take it? But let's say you get an agent. Now the agent goes and makes the call or goes in the office or he makes the phone call. He makes some type of communication with him and he tells the agent, well, we'll give him 65,000. So why the hell did you tell me 12,000? But the agent goes in and he wheels and deals up to 65,000. So now you messed
up. Use that budget, maximize that budget expense.
Now your credibility with me is bad. I'm trying to send my kid to play football for you to make your receiver room better or your running back room better. But now you told me 12,000. All right, we're gonna stop it right there, man. Hey, check it out.
Matter of fact, I'll take 12,000 right now a month. I'll take 12,000 a month.
No, Coach. 12,000 is for the year. For the 12 months.
That's like Pell Grant money. They get that anyways.
Exactly. They're gonna get that anyway. Exactly. You know, and these guys, they sitting. To me, they gonna get that money to what the need is, and I get it. If they didn't win last year, and they need O-line, D-line, and that's where they knew they were weak, they gonna hold that bag for them guys, right? They're gonna try to sign them guys.
I wish I was a part of this conversation earlier, and I left the middle school game, but this seems like some really good talking right now. I want to jump. What's up with the Hawks? He don't have an iPhone. Like, forgive him, everybody. Like, great. The guy's got unbelievable knowledge, but he just hasn't got up to the the AI technology of life.
He's a caveman.
I mean, this is time.
How can you be a hawk? The hawk usually flies. What are you doing? He got a buzzard phone. He ain't got no
wingspan. Yeah, he got to have a different wingspan. Come on now.
Yeah.
Who is this?
I might change over when my upgrade come around.
Coach, who's this dude with the red shirt on? Who's this guy? He looked familiar.
Hey, man.
Who is that?
Hey, man. Hey, look, I heard he's a pretty iconic guy. And I mean, he's a pretty iconic guy that I know. Hey, welcome to the show, though, Coach Greiner, man. Welcome, and congratulations, of course. Yes. And I know you've heard that. Congratulations, man. And it's a pleasure having you.
The invite. I really appreciate. I was nervous because I got the text message from Hawk, and Hawks always support high school football regardless where you play. So I don't think that's said enough. Like, people that support kids, no matter where they go to school, where they play at, but you want them to be successful. He is one of the legends in doing that. So, kudos to you, Hawk. Like, everything you do about these kids is amazing. Like, so legit in my book, no doubt. But all these shows, everything we do for high school sports and different things, there's so many people that try to compete with each other. It's all good. This is all good for student athletes. It's perfect. Like, we all need to be, brotherly love in this deal. So
absolutely
excited to be here. Really am.
Yeah. The only reason we do this show, man, is because guys ourselves, a little older guys. I mean, I know some of y'all guys still look good, but I am calling you older. But these guys have a lot of knowledge and a lot of experience, and they got a love. Before you came here, I was giving them their flowers about how much they care about the kids, and they care about the kids on every level: the youth level, middle school, high school level. So you're exactly right, man. Everybody on here has a really good passion about themselves when it comes to kids elevating their careers and things like that. So yeah. But let's talk about you though. Let's
Oh
talk about what
goodness.
you've done. And I've just been observing from afar, and I watch you go to Harding and do what you did. Hey man, listen, you to me, and I'm gonna let these other guys speak. You've gone into some communities that was much needed, some much needed with some good alumni support, community support. Hardin High School, who was in the mud, like they say, get it out. They needed to get out of the mud. You went in there and courageously went out there and gave them guys some hope, right? And you gave them hope, and you helped them kids dream again, and you gave that community what they needed, and that was a championship. If that's all they had to grasp hold to get out of the mindset that they were in of Harden, you went in there and you bought them a state championship, and that was great in that
I
community.
appreciate it. I
And
appreciate
then
it.
guess what
It
you
was not
did? And
easy.
then
It
and let me
wasn't that
finish.
wasn't
I'm gonna
easy.
finish
I'm
giving
gonna
you
be
your flowers. I'm gonna finish giving you your flowers, and then I'm gonna jump on you.
okay. Okay.
So listen.
Woo.
Then you know what you did? You did it all over again, and that's the courageous part and the resilient part. You went into another neighborhood, much needed, that was in the mud,
Right down 85.
right in the heart of the city, West Charlotte, big alumni community. You know, a
Huge.
lot happens over there, a lot of love over there, and you did it all over again, man. And to me, there's some guys around here that has won some championships. Now, this is just me talking. But when a guy goes into the neighborhoods that you went into in the, and done what you've done, I commend you, man. And I look at you, I look at you differently. I don't care about anybody else's perception but my reality is this guy went into some damn neighborhoods, bro, and he bought some love and some much needed love, man. And congratulations again. I'm Coach Booker, man. I know you probably don't even know who the hell I am, but I'm Coach Booker, man. And I'm deep in the community as well. So congratulations, Coach, man. And we glad to have you, man, on the show.
I appreciate it, man. That was a pretty high. I need like a little hype video like that. I need to put that on my Instagram, give it some followers.
Yeah.
That was nice.
He said, "Get some followers."
Yeah. Well, you said it correctly though. Perception of me, like a lot of people, if you really don't know who I am, I can come across arrogantly to people. I'm a very confident individual. You got to believe in what you do, or you're not going to be successful. But last time I checked, if you are successful in this game, you're going to have people hate on you more than they love you. At the end of the day, I'm not looking for either one. I'm here for the players. So the guys that I coach, I want them to believe in me because I believe in them. And that's the key. When you grasp that, like when you go into the neighborhoods, like you're saying, and you build a relationship and you build a bond with them. I mean, you look at my hair, everybody like, the white dude with dreads, what's he doing? Well, they act like I'm just doing it because I'm trying to be cool. It ain't that. I make a deal with my team. When I go to West Charlotte, there's a guy named Josh Mahatha, great athlete, good football player, played basketball, won a state championship.
Yeah.
And I told him, I said, look, man, I'm a guy that my wife wants me to have like a tapered up, nice look, low cut. And I want my wife to be happy. So I was like, I'm going to grow my hair out because I know it's going to be a struggle for a while. And just letting you know, I'm going to go through the struggle until we get there because my wife wants me to cut my hair, but I ain't going to cut it. And he's like, Coach, I could care less if you cut your hair or not. If you with us, you're going to dread it. And I was like, right. Whoa. I was like, I don't know if mine can do that. And he's like, oh, we got some people who can take care of that. And so, won the state championship. I could cut my hair. Now it gets to the point where like my players, they're we build a good bond. They're like, Coach, I don't know, you might look like a chump. You cut your hair right now. Like let's keep it a little longer. And my wife was like, yeah, it's growing on me a little bit. So I was like, okay, well maybe we'll keep it, just a little longer. And so that's the bond, like little joking around. There's X's and O's about kids in the college. There's a lot of things that go into the fold. But if you don't have a personable relationship with your players and they can trust me, they can ask me like legit questions about life, faith, if you don't have that and you just have a sports relationship with them, you're not going to be successful in these
Absolutely.
neighborhood situations. It's not going to happen. And they got to build a trust in me. We don't do it. Like I tell everybody, like God has placed me in areas where I didn't know. Like I told you, I did not apply. So the little story behind Harding, just to kind of know, I actually was the defense coordinator at Vance. It's my first gig that I got to be, somewhat of a guy that makes decisions. Like I built the defense over there, and we were able to beat like Mallet Creek on this run to go to the semifinals to play Butler. We beat Marquise Williams 10-7. Everybody don't remember that game, but that was my first big stage of really calling plays and making decisions, and we beat them 10-7. Now everybody, well, Marquise Williams was injured a little bit. I said he still played, and them boys are pretty big. And the last time I checked, and the people don't realize this, that in that game, Vance, our quarterback, threw 5 interceptions that game, and we still won 10-7. So that was my, I can do this. I had a belief in myself. Then I was like, you know what? I do have a gift. I do know ball enough where I can do the X's and O's part, but it's not about that. It's about the relationships. It's about the other things to build something. So in the meantime, that season goes away. They get a new head coach. And this is when Vance is transitioning. This is right before Brand comes. Okay, so there's this Keith Wilkes situation coming there, and I think he won a championship before, but it wasn't quite the right fit. And when he got there, me and him didn't see eye to eye on everything, which is fine. I thought he was a good coach, but that happens in life. My daughter's born. Okay, my wife works retail, and I go there always talking about faith family football, and I mean that. And I told the staff, I said, guys, I ain't gonna be able to coordinate next year. I'll be around when I can. But I was like, I got to get this dad thing right. I was like, I got to make sure, my first daughter, my wife, I don't want her to divorce me, the whole deal. I got to make sure I do this right. And so I get a letter in the mail, I get an email. And this is how I go to Harding. I get an email, and it says I've been displaced. Basically, like my new job is going to be at Harding University High School. And I was like, at the time, Harding was, it was a dumpster fire. I mean, it was
for sure.
The last time they played Garins beat them. So that's where they were at that time.
It was in the mud.
And then so I go there, and I told you, I didn't apply. God placed me in a situation. I'm thinking my goodness. Well, in the meantime, before all this happening, my old head coach at Olympic, and I'm gonna tell you just how the transition, how my mindset, how things have happened. So it's not really me. It's just God's work through me in a way. I'm just a small tool in it, but I want y'all to see how this stuff has happened. And I don't really talk about these stories, not to the paper or anything. So I feel personal here with you guys and want to tell you about it. So what happens is Barry Shuford coached me in high school, and Mike Newsom and those guys, and Steve Shaughnessy at Butler High School. So I'm a Charlotte guy. I grew up Charlotte through the CMS system, and I appreciate it. That's where I was built. I want to be a part of it. And at the time, Barry Shuford says, I lived right beside Olympic. I live over there by them outlet malls at the time. And they said, you're going to coach football with us. I told them the same thing. I was like, I can't coach advanced. They displaced me over to Harding, it looks like. He says, you're going to coach with us. I said, Coach, I can't coach. I ain't got no time. I got to get the dad thing right. And Shuford did something. He's like, look, I believe in you. I'm not asking you to be here every day. I need you to be here on game nights, install, help out our young DC, install some stuff. And I need you to be here one day a week, build a bondship. Just try to be here, and I'll get you a stipend. I said, all right, I'll try to work that out just to be a part of the game. But it did something to me. I ended up going against my own. I'm in the building at Harding. The principal, hey, come coach football here. And I said, I made a commitment. Let me think about it going in the future. We play Harding. Olympic plays Harding. We beat them 60-something-0. Okay. I remember going through the line and looking at the kids I see every day, and looking at me are we not good enough for you in a way? And it hit me. I'm gonna tell you right now, it messed with me. I was like, dang. I was like, So I'm there. This is going on to year 3. So the following year, I was like, I'm not helping out Olympic no more. I'm not going to do these guys. I end up doing Coach Akins, great basketball coach over there. He says, look, will you just work on my right moves for youth? So I coached basketball first, and we won a championship basketball. So technically, I got 3, baby. Right moves for youth, championship, football one. So you a little brag there. So the principal comes in there, and he was only there for just a little while. He says, Coach, you're going to be our head football coach. I said, no, I can't. And he said, why? I said, I don't think you guys can win. And he was like, what do you think it's going to take? I said, a miracle. Really. You don't have uniforms. I say, I just want kids to put on a Harding T-shirt and be proud of it.
Right.
At the time, it was hard to do that. And he says, what do you want to do? And he literally listened to me. And he said, I said, I don't know the answer, but I got some ideas. And we called ourselves you because it's Harding University at the time, and they got away from it. As soon as I left, they wanted to brand it differently. I don't know why. The kids, like, we to you, that was kind of cool at the time. You know,
Right.
And because a ram, I'm gonna be honest, a ram's not an aggressive mascot. I mean, they're shivering on the side of a mountain somewhere. I mean, I don't want to break it down on rams. I mean, they're tough.
Right.
You know, I'm just being honest. Like, and I think that we did a justice where kids started being proud. Now, we went 1-10 the first year I coached, but they believed and they were proud to wear a shirt. And that following year, we went to the playoffs for the first time. And that third year, we won the state championship, and God had his head on that team. Y'all know the story about Brahim Murphy. My son ended up going to West Point. We had some really good players. Javon Gwynn in the trenches plays for the Falcons now. Some really good players. But the cool thing is this. I don't lose a lot of football players or players because they believe that I mean well for them. You know, Chris Hawks, who were a lot of these coaches out there. If you don't lose your players, you don't have to win games all the time. They just got to believe you are right for them, and you will win. That's the key right there. Is like when I look someone in the eyes, I want to tell them the truth. I'm not going to, sugarcoat things, but I'm going to demand greatness. I don't have to curse a kid out for that. I'm just going to say, God created you more than you're more than a conqueror, and you better go conquer what's yours in life, and that's important. You better go do that. And when they believe that special things can happen, you can move mountains, you can do things that you can't even imagine, they will happen. And that's just the situation that would happen to Harding. And in West Charlotte, it was very difficult too. At other times, I had to look at myself in the mirror and say, there's people afar that don't know me. Like, why is this guy here? But there's really people, those players and those parents that I see every day in administration that I work with, they're like, no, he's right. People from the outside might not know it. And then they stuck with me even through the tough times where people were ridiculing and like, let's get this guy gone, da-da-da-da-da. But I'm glad they didn't, because now we're pretty daggone good, and I think we're going to remain good for a little while.
Absolutely.
Coach, let me ask you a question, because you basically went to two programs with basically the same type of kid, same type of background. Some of them are, at disadvantages in some areas of life. You coming in there, let's just say, as a white guy, what's the formula? How do you get those guys to buy in? How do you get them to trust you? Because we're not so trusting all the time. So what was your key to getting those guys to buy in?
It doesn't happen overnight. It's like it's chiseling away. Now I grew up around a culture that's more built for Harding, West Charlotte. And some of my best friends growing up, like always playing the Hoop It Up tournaments growing up, and the Jason Williams of the world. That's kind of who I was. So it's just, I like kids that, I mean, you can have two-parent homes that have great homes. I have kids that have that too, but I like sometimes kids that don't have nothing else but one way out. I like a kid like that. Like I can win with a kid that's got something like, hey, he'll listen to me because I promise you I mean well for these kids. It ain't going to be easy, but they believe. These kids will tell you the truth. Like if I wasn't good for them, I would have been gone a long time ago. But these kids, they have purity in them still. Like they're getting older, but the world hasn't taught them all these bad things about naysayers and different things. They just believe. Like if someone really believes in them and gives them that trust, like I believe in you, we can do this. We might get whooped a little bit. Even this past year, let's think about this. We got whooped up by Huff earlier in the year. Lost a close one. We had some guys down in the Mallard Creek game, but can you grow? They believe in the growth aspect. We never stay the same. Every time we've been there, we've gotten better and better as the year goes on, and that's the key. And that's the key in life. And that's what we try to preach. Like, day by day, we get better and better till we can't be beat. We won't be beat. A lot of people say those things, but we believe it. And that's really the message when they zero in and just say, look, we are getting better. I see it, coach. And you really critique them. I love going off a win. We ain't beat Vance since I've been here until this year, or Chambers, excuse me. And we really took it to them this year. But I couldn't wait to get the film on Monday with them. All right. And we're ridiculing some stuff on film, like, hey, yeah, we got after them, but like, look at this right here. And they're like, Coach, you're right. Like, yeah, this it's fun to win, but like, we're made to be great. I'm not here to be lukewarm. I'm not here to win a few games. I'm not here to be like, okay, yeah, they're pretty good in the city. No, I'm here that when we leave the city, it's the Queen City. Last time I checked, the lion is the king of the jungle. We're going to remain the king again. At the end of the year, we did do that. But I want people to understand, you might not think we the biggest getting off the bus or like, oh, well, wow. Like, yeah, we can beat these guys, but you're going to remember us when we leave. And that's the whole key. And they do that. They're pretty special guys. They're all going to be on the map now. And right. I just love being a part of that. Like that grimy toughness. And I made some mistakes. Like I live on 485 near the Matthews area. I grew up in the Mid-Hill area. And I drive that 30 minutes. I need that time with God where I listen to my app and really understand why I'm doing things in life, that you're building treasures that last forever. You might not get paid for it. I mean, I think the way that we pay coaches in North Carolina is a joke. Like I'm getting paid and these other guys are getting paid the exact same as someone that's been gone, hadn't been coaching for 10 weeks now. And, and I'm still sending kids home with Ubers and whatever we got to do to get them home. But no one goes and looks at that like, oh, this coach made $4,000 for you. $4,000 for the whole year? Yeah, that's about what he made after taxes and stuff. And it's kind of stupid, but they understand that we're building treasures that last forever. So one day when I made a lot of mistakes in life, I want God, when it's all said and done, be like, look, I'm proud of you. You made a lot of mistakes in life, but I'm proud of you. You're a warrior, a frontline warrior. Like I'm not going to be in the back when that war goes on at the very end. When we taking on the devil, I consider myself as going to be on the front line, breathing fire out my daggone mouth. I ain't going to be in the back shooting no arrows. I'm going to be up there in the front line ready to go.
Mm-hmm. For sure, man. Great story.
This is Coach Washington.
Yes, sir.
I saw how your kids had bought in last year at the Independence game. I was covering that.
Okay.
Then my boys Cleve Graham over there. Graham, that's my guy over there.
Oh, really? Okay, good deal. He's a great
dude.
Over the
summer, you was about to kick me off the field, and Graham came and like, this is my guy.
He's that guy. That's right. Hey, I don't know sometimes if I ain't
you like, I don't know. You Graham guy, you can stay. But you talking about your God, but you've been blessed. A lot of people don't know this, but you've been blessed the last 3 years to have 3 great 9th grade classes of some dogs that had came over there. Like you had 2 good years.
Don't tell everybody Washington. Don't tell everybody the formula, okay?
All
right. Like, hey, can I keep? I'm gonna let you keep
that. But you don't have 3 good years. People don't know this. Some solid 9th grade class. You got a couple Mercedesfield kids over there. They start transition over there. But you've had some solid these last 3 9th grade classes, people don't know, have been stud muffins.
Dominant. Like we had, let's be honest, like we are about development, but if you're good enough as a freshman come in here, I'm not one of the look, I love a senior that's been in the program for a while and developed them and can play, but I have no loyalty in the aspect of if a freshman is better than a senior, that freshman gonna play. It's just what it is. It's a dog eat dog. They'll be a better person later in life if they understand. If they're not better than someone, they better get better or their job is going to be gone. And we've had 3 freshmen start this year on a state championship team. We had Jamil Watson, going to be a great player, came, from the Ranson community, and he's going to be a phenomenal player, playing linebacker. Michael Walker, dominant, going to be a big-time guy. We had a 13-year-old. No one knows this. The kid came from Africa a few years ago. Literally 13 years old, started at center for us this year. 13 years old, starting at center. So those 9th grade classes, and then the 27 classes, Davion Jones, the Jamari Nichols, MVP. These guys are getting big time Division I offers. It's about that youth. You got to go. Look, I used to love the aspect. Everybody thinks, we're recruiting these people recruit. No, we're not. Listen, when you recruit, you go to a middle school game and you tell them about the program and you believe in them. Like, you go in there like you could come to our school as a 9th grader. We got an IB program for you, and we got a great education program. We got a brand new school. Come be a part of this. I got a great relationship with the basketball staff. I mean, there's a lot of staffs out there that like you to playing football or basketball. You come to West Charlotte, you can play both. We'll work it out. We'll find a way. You got a AAU tournament. It's going to correlate with a practice here. As long as we are about communication, we figure things out. I want you to be the athlete you can be and grow. And I think those things are important. And it's the relationships we have at West Charlotte and being able to do those things. Like you said, we were able to get these ninth grade classes that have been unreal good. And they don't know how good they're going to be until you see them become seniors next year. That first one we got, that 26 class, it's going to be seniors next year. So it's going to be pretty cool to see.
That's awesome. So Coach, you know, you're only as good as those guys that walk the sideline with you, and you know that's grinding it with you, man. And them coordinators, your coordinators, and your support staff around you, man. Anybody you want to shout out right now? Just shout them all out if you want.
Guys, I mean, the whole staff.
Those are your guys, I think.
That's the key, like you're saying. That I got a couple knocks on myself that people think I do too much or something like that. Well, is coach going through this? No, I have a staff that helps me be better than I can be because they understand roles. They help us. We take ideas. We sharpen each other. You know, you won't believe this, and I think that all high school coaches should do. You do your own thing. Most coaches meet on the weekend. I don't meet on the weekends. I believe that you need to be with your family. I plan on being here longer than most teams. We're going to play through the playoffs. I don't want you to get drained and get frustrated by the end of the season. I got a staff that doesn't question those things. I've been to places that why don't we meet on Sundays just for a couple hours? Coach, I can make a phone call to you. We have huddle. We have certain things. I pay you we pay you what? Less than $2,000 for the whole season. Enjoy your family. Watch your film when you get chances on the weekend. We're going to come up with a game plan together. When we meet on Monday, right before we go into the film, it's a long season. We can do it. They all understand those things. I've had a guy that's really young, you know, Coach Williams, my defense coordinator, first year coaching as a coordinator, called the defense this year. Runs a system that we've built for a long time, but he has taken ownership of it and just blew everybody away in the playoffs defensively. Just amazing. Just had his baby boy. He's got a daughter less than 3 years old, and just had a brand new son that was born in December, and was able to coach and still do this. So it's just kudos to him. Little John had a baby too just recently. Well, guess what? If I'm meeting with these guys 4 or 5 hours, those wives that they have are going to question me a little bit. Hey, you made $2,000 for the whole year. Do you have to meet to be successful? I'm telling you out there, coaches, you do not. You can do your job and meet and talk to each other, use your phones, but you need to understand the importance of family and balance to appreciate the football aspect. And our coaches do a great job of that. Randy Long, O-line coach. You got to have a great O-line guy, right? Randy Long's been coaching high school football, 2 national championships at Elon as a player. Never won a state championship as a head coach or assistant coach until now. One of the best coaches there is. Coaches our O-line. We talk probably every day for an hour, even after the season. Still, I love he'll tell me about his, bird hunting with his dogs every day. And then he'll go into, hey, let's think about this 2 and 3 play, how we can adjust it. It's just the love to be around each other and the relationships. If you don't have that with your coach, you see them sometimes more in your family, and you need to have a good bond. And I got some unbelievable coaches. I could go down the list. Everyone matters. I have one more highlight. Chris Bullard, played for me last year. Always talked to him. He could have probably played college football, but he wanted to be an elevator technician. He already knew what he wanted to do. Like, coach, this is a good avenue for me. I want to do this, but I want to coach football one day. He's always one of my intelligent football players, wasn't gigantic. He says, I want to help coach one day. He did all the pre-works. He was our JV D-line coach. He had a great equipment manager that he had a role to play. He was a huge factor in the Hickory game. You're talking about a young kid that just played last year as a player, okay? Right. Now, one of the first times I ever got my first job, I wanted to go back at Butler, but sometimes they look at you as you're a player still. They don't believe what you say. He made some decisions and helped us out in the Hickory game, and we believe him enough to listen. We ain't got to go with it all the time, but we listened, and it mattered, and it helped us win in the Hickory game. So we have guys across the board like that, and it's a family. I want all those guys to be head coaches if they want to be. They could be, but they don't want to go nowhere right now. We got too much of fun of being together, and we're going to be good for a long time. And it's cool to know that everybody's coming back. That's really cool. So we're not losing any coaches right now.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I'm sorry I talk a lot, guys. I get hyped and I get excited.
Nah, that's cool.
We love that on this show.
That's what this is all about. Conversation.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We've had some guys on here that and we want you to talk, about those experiences. And sounds great. Before you got on, we were talking about how important is it when a ninth grader walks, when a ninth grader comes to you, and how do you set the tone with these kids as it relates to this NIL stuff? This,
Okay.
as it relates to NIL and even offers, even down to getting offers. Sometimes those offers are good and some of them are non-committable. And how do you get that message out and educate not just the kid, but even the parents who are very who are not well versed in how this whole journey works? How do you get? When do you have that meeting with these guys, and how does that work for you?
You kind of prep it at the beginning of the year, and it's an ongoing process because it changes weekly. Okay, now I have a rule of thumb. Okay, I have a way of looking at it that I always like to tell people, like, if you want to be a power four, because not power five anymore, power four player, there's 3 things you got to have. Okay, and everybody thinks this. I'm just honest with you. I'm a big education guy. I grew up in education. I mean, I'm a teacher, but believe it or not, I mean, you got to have the grades to get there, but it's not the number one factor. Okay, right. I hate to say it, it's not the number one factor. The number one factor is God-given. It's the eye test. I hate to say it sometimes. Like, I've seen players that can't play a daggone lick, but you 6'4", look pretty daggone good. They're going to find a way. They don't believe that high school coach. No way that high school coach is coaching them. We going to make them that guy. And I got a guy that's 5'10", a dude. Everybody you say that he plays against is a dude. Hey, that guy's a dude. But they're going to take that 6'4" dude every single time, because I can justify giving a scholarship to a 6'4" guy even if he doesn't work out. And normally he doesn't work out. So the eye test is rule number 1. I tell the parents, like, that's God-given. But you need to sleep at night. What do all these kids have right now? Phone, right?
Yep.
And if I'm up at 2 a.m. consistently, I'm not going to grow. I might lose that extra inch the guy was supposed to plan for me to get or had on that plan. And that's where they're losing sight of the nutrition aspect. You got to educate that nutrition daily. Get a little nutrition, and you got to start sleeping. The ones that really take that serious. Yes. If you do that, you can get to the ability for the eye test. All right. Prime example. Okay. Hulk has a guy that has been around for a long time, played from this year, was an MVP of the defense state championship game. All right. Noah Collins. Noah Collins is a thick kid. He worked out. He did everything he could. God gave him. Noah is not nowhere near 6 foot tall. Okay.
Right.
If Noah was 5'11", he'd have every ACC offer you can imagine. But I try to tell him and explain to him, you have opportunities to go to school. I played Division II football. I played professional football after that. It doesn't matter where you start, is where you finish sometimes. And you got an opportunity where some people don't. He was the MVP of the state championship. He's been playing well for a long time, but God didn't bless him with 6 foot tall.
Right.
But telling him and him looking him in the eye and telling him the truth. Look, you got an opportunity. You're going to do it. Now, someone might come into the fold and just try to swoop him up like an A&T at the end. I hope that something happens because he can play. All right. But the eye test is still the most important thing. So you got to tell those parents things like, yeah, your kid's been all conference 3 years, but the kid that doesn't play quite as well as your son is 6'2", he might get that opportunity, but you got to be happy for that kid, and your son or, daughter, if it's another sport, will have an opportunity. So that's number 1, eye test. The next one is, can you play? And that's where, Noah Collins and those guys come into the fold, where if you play and you really play consistently, it's consistent tape out there of you being a hustler. You're a dog. You play your craft, okay? You're going to get an opportunity, but it might be D2. It might be, but sometimes they take chances with that. But with the transfer portal, more likely you might drop down to a D2 and you're going to have to work your way up and prove yourself for the year at a D2, and then you could transfer again, okay? Right. The last one is the education, but it's still important, and I'm going to tell you why. We have some kids that are really good football players. You know, we got a Rakim Finch that has like a 3.7, 3.8 GPA. When you start getting your education to a point where it's a different level, when I'm talking about Ivy League level, if you didn't play football, so there's some parents education only, you're wrong. It's got to be a student athlete. If I'm a 3.5, 3.6 kid, all right, and I'm just a student and I want to go, like I have dreams and ambitions to go to Duke and I want to go to, you know, Wake Forest, or I want to go to an Ivy League school, Harvard. I want to go to, you know, a Navy or academy somewhere. You won't get in with that 3.5. They're dime a dozen then. But if you're a pretty good football player, all right, you're pretty good another athlete, and you've really worked on that education, you've opened up a door that some of the other kids can't get to, and it opens up a different realm. And you got to explain that level to the parents, like, I think this kid has this ability, but they're not like the freshmen and sophomores that were the Penn States and Ohio State are coming in and offering right now. They want to make sure you get to your junior year and see those transcripts really pack in, and like you have a base that you're up there, like this kid, education is really important. There's a different window that they can go into. So there's all these different levels that you're constantly talking about. And the key is just having open relationships with these parents and players to let them know and being honest with them. I mean, I can't create the magic dust and make it happen, but I can fight for you. And I think we do a really good job of like talking about what they really do well. And those opportunities, fortunately, do come for a lot of our guys because we figure out what avenue they can take and do those things. So that's a little bit of a nutshell right there.
Yeah, that's great. Let me ask you a question. Just watching again.
Yes, sir.
You had, I think it was yesterday or the other 2 days ago, I think you had Texas A&M over there.
Yep.
Was it who else? It wasn't. It was another.
We had Texas A&M. We had Ohio State came through.
Yep.
What I really like to highlight too. I've probably seen 25 coaches this week. Okay, so there's a lot of schools coming in, and they're going to continue to come in from Appalachian State to an academy. We had Columbia, the Ivy League, come in. From all raises. Okay. What I really love is when you got the John C. Smith, it's right down the street. They don't take it for granted. The head coach walks in the door. I appreciate when a head coach comes in our building. I'm going to highlight that. We're going to tweet that out. We're going to get that picture out because they work hard and they only got small windows where they can come. You get a head coach, and everybody gets their assistant coach. We want those guys to come into. When a head coach comes in, I document it. I document when a head coach comes in our building or comes to a game because something matters in our program that they like our type of kids. Mm-hmm. There's a different like, oh, we're not just recruiting them. We want them. We're going to fight for them. I've documented this over the years while I've been coaching. You know who's come to see me the most out of all the coaches in the nation? Number 2, and he's only been there for a little while, is John C. Smith. He says he's going to put a flag. I don't care if I'm D2, and I've heard his message. He says, look, I hope all you guys go D1. And if it don't work out, you got a home here. I've heard him talk about it. Flowers does a phenomenal job, and he's resurrected that program over there. Respect the heck out of that. He's number 2 on my list, and he's only been there for a few years, but I've seen him in our building or at a game 5 times. That's a lot for a head coach. Yeah. The number 1 guy that I've seen the most is Dave Dorn. Gets ridiculed all the time. He is a blue-collar head coach at NC State, and I shout that guy out because he's been to 8 times at a school, either visitor or at a game, and that's hard for a head coach to do. How many times have I seen Dabo Swinney? And I love my dad went to Clemson. You know how many times Dabo Swinney's been in my building? None.
What about Bill?
Bill Belichick. And I called him out on Charlotte Observer the other day. I think the world of Bill Belichick and the aspects of his brain, okay? And I know that he's probably thinking on a whole level. Like he's saying, I'm I'm really going to attack the 26s that we want to go at. Most of our big time guys are 27s, 28s. We got KD Cotton. KD Cotton's a 26, but KD Cotton, one of the best football players you'll ever see, ever in high school. 3-time captain, will be a 4-time captain, was a captain his freshman year. A definition of a football player, okay?
Yep.
But when a Bill Belichick goes to Providence Day, okay, he goes to Weddington.
Nice.
All right. And I love these coaches. Don't get me wrong. No disrespect to Chad Greer, Weddington guys, Huff. I'm friends with those guys. They're like some of my closest friends in the coaching world. And they ain't telling Bill Belichick not to come to West Charlotte. But when you go there, and you skip over the Kings of the city, last time I checked, we're the ones that won. I don't care what division it is, whatever. We won. We got dudes.
That's a fact.
But you don't do that. I'm going to highlight when Dave Dorn comes to see me the next day, and you don't. I don't forget those things. And when you want to fight for a kid that you're going to want, he might be at 27, 28, and you might say, KD, all right, he's 5'9.25". I need that guy to be 5'11". But when that guy whoops your tail for 3 years across the way at NC State or Duke or something like that, I'm just going to let you know you can't build inside a human being. You can't. They got something that lives inside them that can't be coached or taught.
Yeah.
It was there from birth, and I love them dudes. I love them Noahs. I love them KDs. Give me them dudes. You can win championships with those dudes, no doubt.
Coach, we've seen Booker and I have had the pleasure of watching KD grow up in our Betty Sports Saints organization. His dad coached with us for years.
Yeah,
we've been saying that since that boy was 6, 7 years old. He's gonna be a guy, man. There's something different about him. He just got a different. He's got a high football IQ, which is the key to it all, in my opinion. You can have all the ability in the world, but if you don't understand the game, it's going to be a struggle for you. So let me ask you this, Coach.
One thing you said about KD, one thing, IQ unbelievable. What my favorite thing, if you played him in Tiddlywinks, he's going to fight you to the death to win in Tiddlywinks. Like he is different in all those aspects. My favorite thing about him, though, and leadership qualities, all this stuff, through the roof. I love looking at a dude that's got scholarships, got all these things, but he's looking, what's the one thing I can improve next? Like, as good as he is, he already knows, like, Coach, I gotta tweak this to be next level to do this. If I want to play professional football one day, he's playing chess while most people play checkers.
Right.
Okay. He's thinking multiple moves ahead, and that's what separates him really right there. Sorry, you keep going, my bad.
No. That's a good thing. Like I said, we know that firsthand. We've known him since he's a baby, man.
Yes, sir.
Let me ask you this, Coach. So you've experienced this before, so you probably have a formula for this. You guys are at the top of the mountain right now. How do you get those guys to bring them back down and redo it all over again? Because it's hard to come to the mountaintop, because every time you go to top of one mountain, you got to start at the bottom of another, right? So what's for getting those guys to buy back in and hey, all right, we've celebrated it. Now let's move on.
Do it all over again.
Right. And that's the part you're saying right there is this, like, that's the hardest part right now. And if we were a coach-led team, like if I just led the team, it was just me, we wouldn't be as successful as we are. But the player-led team that we have, they do a lot of things. I'm not saying they need a little bit of guidance here and there, but like they really push each other. Like, we're not having practice right now, and we have 20 kids. We go home right now. Go home. Like, seriously, go home. Let's make sure that the semester's about to end. Let's make sure these grades. If you got an 87, can we get to the 90? If you got the 79, we got to get that 80. That's what you need to be focused on right now. So you got a real mental aspect. But they're so ready to go work out right now after school. And I said, listen, I'm like I told you with my coaches. Yeah, I'd love to meet 3 and 4 hours if it made sense. Trust the process of what we do. Okay. It's not about right now. It's for the later. You got to map out the plan. We're going to start back up 1st of February after school and hit it hardcore. And it's going to translate and work with the track team. We got some new track guys here that are doing a great job, and they're going to build these guys on a different level. Some of the other things that we have in place. We have affiliation with Camp Hustle that they do one of the best. They were new and up and coming 2 or 3 years ago. They're one of the best ones in the nation. They can rival because they built it from within and a little bit of outsiding parts. But they're going to be one of the best 7-on-7 teams in the entire nation. They'll be top 10 this year. And so you have those guys working skill levels. We have a great relationship with Trench Corp. Trench Corp uses our facilities. That's the big boy group. So there's things that they do and that they do that just, make sure their skill development is getting there and doing what we're supposed to do. But that you come into that weight room starting February when we start killing it a little bit, it's a hazard because it's slippery. It's so much sweat in there. You can put your name on the mirror, sign out, and it's a pretty cool thing to watch. And those dudes going to build it to the next level. They want it. If it ain't me, they just want it. They're wanting to go right now, and I'm having to tell them, like, hey, whoa, chill for a minute. So you say mountaintop. I'm just saying right now, I've had some phone calls. People call me, hey, Coach, would you be interested? I'm like, no, I'm not. I've made those mistakes before. Look, I got 17 years in this thing. You get to 30, you get to that retirement phase. Look, I'm here to be at West Charlotte. It's different here. I'm excited to be here. And we plan on staying on top of the mountaintop. We got some things that are unfinished business. Even though we won a state championship last year, we got some things now. Everybody said, well, you going 8A? Can't wait. You going 8A, Coach? Like I said, can't wait. Love it. Don't want to be nowhere else.
Hey, that's the motivation piece right there, Coach. That's the motivation right there. Say, look, y'all done your thing 3A. People say, hey, we going to AA, tackle the giant. You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. Let's show everybody, we for real.
Yeah, can't wait.
Hey, Coach Grimes. Hey, check this out. I'm gonna touch on what you said earlier. You talking about the different coaches come to your school or whatever. So, Dabble, you gotta think when we had a Chambers for 6 years. To my knowledge, he never came to Chambers either. But he went to Hickory Ridge, so you kind of see how that goes.
Yeah, don't work out.
He won't go to West Charlotte. He don't want to come to Chambers, but he went to Hickory Ridge or Myers Park. So you know how that boat rolls.
Yeah, and it's frustrating to the fact that I've always looked at it like this. Like I've told these coaches this, and I'm be honest with you. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. A lot of college coaches, I think they do a great job, but there are some high school coaches. A lot of high school coaches can't make that jump because of the stupid rules. So you have some unreal high school coaches out there, way better than me, and they can really coach the game. But see, they can't take an analyst role somewhere because they can't recruit their kids for 3 years on the front end of the back end because that's the rule of a basketball rule. That was, Nick Saban and all those guys hated that rule because that was made for that one and done basketball rule. They were taking those kids in basketball, hiring a coach, give them 140, 150K, okay, and then getting rid of that coach and then getting the next one and done guy. Okay, well, football, you can't go to the NFL in 1 year anyways. You got to spend 3 years, so that ain't going to happen. But NCAA made that stupid rule affecting all the sports, and they didn't look at it with the fine-tooth comb and say, well, basketball could do it for this reason, but football can't do it because they can't get rid of that guy for 3 years. And so it's a dumb rule, but, it's very frustrating, Hawk, like you said, about doing some of those things. But you have a Dabo Swinney, and my dad's I grew up a Clemson fan, and I think they do a phenomenal job. They're not real big in the portal. But maybe he's doing the same thing, and I'm going to give him credit for this. Maybe he's doing the same thing. If he didn't go to none of the schools and he's saying they got to come to us a little bit, I'd respect that. But just saying, I got to be there for my family, just kind of like we're not meeting on the weekends. Like, look, this is a chaotic thing. I want to make sure I have family balance. I can understand that. But, like, when you got a big Belichick that bounced around and hit 3 other spots and didn't come to the kings of the city, I'm just
Hey, he
got a problem.
Hey, Belichick, he keeping receipts, baby.
I keep a receipt, and I'll tell him I'm not one of those ones. I'll get in front of him and I'll joke around with him. I'll be dead serious with him.
Yeah,
I'll be dead serious with him. And he might be able to take it. Hey, coach, hey, you got a lot of these things. We didn't think the 26 such, and we're out here to go get it right now. We got to get better right now. I'll respect it, but now I'm going to probably show up to their 707 and wreck that whole thing. And walk out and let them keep the trophy. I just said, we come here to put a flag down. We get now. You can keep the trophy.
I love that, Coach. I love that. Hey, kind of explain to people that don't really understand, because I don't truly understand why this thing was realigned like it is? Can you kind of touch on why there's the classifications of being realigned? But the 3A now,
a lot of people, a ton of people complained about, like, it was hard to win these past 4 years because you had how many champions? 4. It was some tough sledding. I think that we've gotten to the day and age of, I think maybe a happy medium if we had the 6 classifications. I hate the number 6, but they're just saying if we do 8 classifications, you can hand out more trophies and more people are happier. And, and I understand that thing. It's going to be easier, and I don't want to be disrespectful, but you're going to have 8 champions. You're going to have people that wouldn't have won it in the past. You're going to have more people win champions.
Exactly.
Sometimes they want that.
Exactly.
Like participation trophies.
No doubt. And I'm saying, like, the winning is you're still going to win, but it's going to have a little bit of an asterisk by it instead of 4 championships in the past. And that's what everybody says. Like, oh, y'all going to 8A? I'm like, guys, we just won 3A. Last time I checked, Dudley's pretty daggone good. Last time I checked, Hickory had the longest winning streak at the time when we beat them. And then 71st was like literally mammoths. Them dudes were the biggest team I ever seen in my life. They're going to shake hands. I'm like, oh my God, that dude, he was here before the floods. Back in the day when they had those mountains, guys walking around like, you got to look like you're here before the flood. And I'm like, geez, big. What happened to Washington, man? Look at it. It got to be his bedtime. He's a little older though.
He was yawning a little bit. I mean, with that,
he was 8.
I ain't that old, baby. Don't let the great. I lost the top, so I had to keep the side.
I got you.
Hey, but yeah, we ain't gonna hold Coach too much longer, man. We all do probably have to, get off here. We just covered the middle school. We came from middle school all the way over to Piedmont, all the way.
I was there. That's right.
Yeah, I know. We talked to you. We saw you, and like I said, for the love of the game,
Piedmont guys last year, I ain't gonna lose them no more. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
One of my players I took home, little Marquand. Oh man, he talked about you in the car. Oh, Coach Watson, I talked to the West Charlotte coach. I said you did not talk to him. We don't know that.
I love it. Come play.
Oh, man, he talked about that. He made his day.
I tell you one kid I wouldn't let it get away from me. If he's on that radar, that's that Mason kid.
And
I gotta have that one.
They're coming to West Charlotte. They're coming to West Charlotte.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We are. They could probably play for us still. They're good.
Yeah, and Coach, it's good to see guys like yourself. You could be anywhere else, like you said, home with your family, and for you to be out in the community at a middle school basketball game. I mean, I just found out today that you were a basketball guy.
Let them stay home. I don't look.
Let them stay home. So, but that's super important to see guys like yourself, big influencers and coaches and stuff and mentors that get out in the community and let these young guys see your face. It's super big in middle school. A lot of these guys, like you said, they're staying home and good. Stay at home. Hey, let Coach Greiner eat. If that's what y'all want to do, let me eat.
I don't see my feeder. I don't see my feeder program at football or basketball games.
You don't see your feeder program? Yeah. Hey,
I don't see who we feed into. They'll never come holler at us.
Maybe you need to start feeding in the West Charlotte a little bit more.
Hey, we started this year.
That's right. You did.
Yeah. We got some kids over there now.
So maybe I just send a little bit more over there.
Yeah, I love it, man. Them kids, and you got kids from the youth community as well that represented it. NC Giants, which is one of the larger organizations, youth organizations around here. They produced a lot of those athletes that you have right now. That I think they'll be class 28. I think we talked about. Jamel came from Ranson in North Carolina, and Micah. He also Walker. He came from the NC Giants program. Shout out to them guys. They producing some pretty good athletes as well. So.
No doubt.
Yeah, man. We're gonna get out of here, man. Coach, we appreciate you coming on, man. It was great to have you, man. We are on the line sports media. So if you hear about us in the community, man, we're just some guys in the community, man, that like to just keep that community connected. We like to connect the dots. Now we'll call some people out. Like if we needed to call you out, make you stand on business right now, we probably would have brought up some shit. But I said what I had to say. You know,
look, and I like that though. Like I like someone to call me out if there's a question. I want to get in front of it. I ain't hiding behind nothing. So I think this. I had more fun tonight talking with you guys than I've done on any podcast that I've done, and just because we're having a good time. I feel like we're really
and Coach. Sometimes, man, we might want you every now and then. If there's a topic that we need for you to, to speak on for the people to hear, because we know you probably got a little bit more insight than some people. We might call you up and say, "Hey, Coach, can you come on tonight and just kind of vibe with us a little bit? We need somebody to speak on a few things." So we might invite you back.
Anybody wants to see West Charlotte up and personal? Martin Luther King Parade's coming out, and we're going to be highlighted at the parade. I'm excited about that special day. We represent that at our school a great deal, and so my principal and I and our team's going to get to be an opportunity to be in that parade, and I'm excited about that. So that'd be cool. Come out there in the city and check that out.
Oh, that's real cool, man.
That's good, man.
We appreciate you coming on, Coach, man, and good luck, man.
Coach, man.
Congratulations.
Hey, we'll get you an iPhone, Hawk. We'll get you one going, man. I promise soon.
All right, man. I look forward to it.
Yeah, man, that was cool, man. Coach Greiner, man.
Man.
He told some stories, man. He
good guy, bro.
There's some storytellers out here and some guys that had some experiences, and he's one of them, man. They got some pretty good stories. One other guy that I talked to, another coach that I talked to that I really loved having him on here was Coach Hales.
Oh yeah, that was a great
when we talked to him, he's kind of similar with the energy and the
real guys
and the passion, the passion that he speak of about his journey and how he got there and where he plans to go. And I like talking to those guys, man. So yeah.
So what's the game of the week next week?
Well, the game of the week was this week, Sedgefield and Piedmont. Which was it?
How did Sedgefield do? How did Sedgefield do out there, Washington?
It was a good game.
Today, hey, we lost. We cut it. Hey, we was cutting it down. They kept the lead. They was killing us with that as we broke. They broke the press.
Too many bad. Y'all that break that they killed our fresh break, bro.
Yeah. They killed us today, like 20 points off that.
Yeah, too many fast break points, man. That's where y'all lost the game. Fast break points. Y'all could not get back on defense, bro.
That was killed.
Y'all could not. Them boys was not running back on defense. Like get your ass back. And that's what happened.
Now, so anybody watching, don't think you just gonna run up on.
No, man.
No.
But tonight we did not get back on defense.
And another thing is, and when nobody was shooting the ball. Everybody was going taking a high percentage shots, which is cool. Nothing wrong with taking a high percentage shot, but sometimes usually y'all got a couple of guys on y'all team. You would think they were sharpshooters, but they was trying to get to the basket a lot. So,
but you know what? Them guys had just come on. Some of them guys we played Eastway Monday, and then some of them guys you seen get there tonight. That light switch, as they say, clicked on this past Monday. So you see the light switch clicked on. They feel more confident of doing that. So by the end of the season, we're 5-2. We'll take that. We need top 3 make the playoffs. We're gonna make that. But tonight the light just came on.
So tonight marked the first half of the season, though, right?
7 games.
7 games. So we're going to the second half.
So we're about to start it over.
This is turn up time now.
And this is the one thing I need, man. And I ain't talking. Trying not to talk trash. Listen, we're trying to cover this middle school thing, okay? And we're trying to give these kids their flowers, man, and well-deserved flowers, man. We want to be able to come on here and have an efficient show as it relates to middle school basketball, middle school, whatever sport that we're going to cover. But we need some help. These middle school coaches, we need some help. We need these middle school coaches to send their scores to onTheLines@gmail.com. Send them to you. Send them to Coach Washington. What's your email address, Wash?
They can send it at contact@weacamps.com. Again, that's contact weacamps.com. Or
what's your email? What's your email, Philando?
impactfitnesscompany@gmail.com.
So you got all these emails, and Hawk he don't get involved in all that mess. That's how
ain't got an iPhone.
He ain't got no armor. But anyway, but what I'm saying is we're trying to cover all of this middle school coach. We're going to be there to the end of this middle school basketball, right? We're going to be there. We're committed to all the way. We committed all the way through. What Sweet 16, Final 12, how many ever teams they pick? I think it's 16. We want to know every team. We want to interview the coaches. We want to get your kids. We want to give you your kids their flowers. But we need for CMS or these athletic directors or these head coaches to send in your scores. Right now, we need to know what everybody's record is. Who's 7-0? Who's 1-6? Who's 0-7? We still want to find some good in those teams. But we want to be able to get on the show and talk about them. So can we please send those scores in, send those records in at least before the second half of the season gets started, which is Monday.
Yep.
Can we get who's beat who's winning? Because at the end of the day, there's going to be a playoff, and I'm sure some of these guys would like to know about what's going on in the other divisions.
Absolutely.
Who's undefeated, who's not. It's
about the kids, bro.
It's about the kids. Quit. I think there's a lot of mediocre crap going on in CMS right now. I love you, Steve, and I love what you guys have done and brought to the table, and you have finally brought to the table what everybody's been wanting for every school to play everybody and see who really see who really is the champion of the city. And we really appreciate and love that CMS and you guys have done that. But we need your help.
We need the information.
Period. We need the information.
Scores and records.
Right. We need so we can have an efficient show, so we can tell the viewers who's going to be playing who next week. We need to know. We're coming up with our own games of the week through our own research, and we don't mind doing our research to find out. But we want to make sure that we're being fair, right? So we need to know about AG and Jay Robinson and Jay and Robinson and the Davidsons and the K8 divisions, and we want to know. K8. Right, we want to be able to walk into those gyms and build those relationships with those ADs and those kids as well. But we're not able to do it because we don't have enough information from CMS. Period. Now.
Yeah, we need to hear the K8. I know them K8 games probably. Woo!
What's
them
that?
Games probably changing right there.
Scores from where? Yeah, we're looking for a game. I don't know who the game is. What's a good game of the week that you know of right now, Wash?
Well, y'all had a good game of the week. We didn't get a chance to make it over there.
I talked to the AD. JM Alexander blew out Coolwood.
Okay, 250 teams, all right.
So JMA is undefeated.
Okay, I'm gonna reach out and try to find the K8. I'm gonna get on the K8 and we just go check out a K8 game.
Yeah, we want to be able to go to a K8 game. Find out who's undefeated. Otherwise, we're just gonna keep following Sagefield, Piedmont, got doggone JM Alexander, Ranch. We don't want to keep doing that. We want to cover some of these other guys.
Cover every team. Get some coverage this year.
Right. Mid-Hill showed us some love. Yep. We went over there. North Ridge showed us some love. We want to cover everybody, man, because these kids deserve it, man. Absolutely. Instead of just out here playing and that's it. And listen, we want to find out. We want to have a relationship with CMS to the point where we want to acknowledge some of these student athletes that got 3 high GPA, getting it done in the classroom. We want to be able to acknowledge them in front of everybody in that gym. I'm sorry about that. I'm on the microphone. I know. Yeah, but I want to be able to highlight these kids. I do it in the gym with all the kids. Hey, listen, we're gonna start one moment and we're gonna acknowledge this one student athlete And he might be sitting on the edge of the bench, not getting any minutes, but he got a 4.1 grade point average, right? And he balancing basketball, practice, schoolwork, and we want to. But CMS ain't giving us enough information, bro. That's just it, man. And I know they care about the kids just as well as we do. But we want to be able to do that, man.
Absolutely, man. Give us those scores, CMS. Come
on,
you
doing?
Man.
Say what?
I need a sweat top. I need me.
He need that merch. He need that merch.
I got you. I got some merch over here. I got.
I want some merch.
Well, I know so. We need some too.
I got a couple of these. I got some extra these.
You got the media. Come on,
yeah.
Watch.
He got the media shirt. You see it?
He had to show us that. That's why
I see the details on that. Back up a little bit. Back up a little bit. Let me see that.
They got the camera.
He got the media with the camera. Oh my God!
Got the Instagram icon on there.
This guy's official. Jeez.
Media.
We got iron-on patches.
Hey, I'm gonna get. Hey, y'all look good though. Y'all look good. Oh, y'all look good. The cameras were everywhere.
Yeah,
Mic'd up players. Greg over there running like he's that tech guy. It look good. I'm in the stands.
Putting in some work now.
Hey,
appreciate you.
We putting in some work now. This thing it's gonna do what it do. But you know what? Thanks to y'all guys, man. You know what I'm saying? You guys take the time out to rock with us, man. You darn right. We need to put an on the line shirt on you, man. If that's what you want. We should be able to promote WEA, and all of us have on the WEA and
Absolutely,
Impact
man.
Coach of the podcast and all that. We got love on
Impact Coach of the podcast, man. We're gonna kick off this season Monday night, man. Men's Club Monday. I need all you guys on there. I got some hot topics we're gonna discuss, man. I'm kicking off a 5-part series called Breaking the Silence. Is addressing men. You know, we go through on a day-to-day basis in our marriages, in our careers, raising children, just everything, our health care, our mental health, everything, man. We're going to cover that, man. We're going to have some great roundtable discussion, man. I got some very qualified professionals come on here and answer these questions, man. I just did a interview with a doctor, neurosurgeon. We're going to premiere that on Monday. So I need you guys on there, man. I need your support.
What time?
Here, man, and because look, man, we all go through something, but let's go through it together, man, and find a solution because none of us need to be alone, bro.
For sure.
What time, Claude?
I'm sorry.
What time you gonna do it? What time you gonna do it?
About 8:30 Monday night. I'll send y'all in.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna man. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be a nice run, man.
But once again, man,
for sure though, I'm gonna reach out to some K-9 schools.
Yeah,
and I'm gonna get some schedules, and I'm gonna ask for some schedules and all that, and then who's the hot team? What's the game we gonna pull up? Yeah,
let's get this done, man. We appreciate it, man. And hey, everybody, go get you some sleep, man. Get that Friday in. I guess it's gonna snow. Who knows? I don't know.
Man.
I'm at the house, so I'm ready to go, baby. I ain't gotta go nowhere. I got my sticks. I'm about to get on one now.
I know that. Burn it down, baby. All right, man. Love y'all boys.
Hey, y'all be good now.
Hey, y'all did a great job tonight, man. I appreciate y'all covering.
Y'all did, man.
Always.
Appreciate you, man. All right, big dog.
Yes, sir.